So I decided to sit down for this video, but my butt is literally halfway out of the bed, so if I lean back too far I'm just gonna fall and all my books are gonna fall on top of me. It'll make for a hilarious video, but I don't want that to happen. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Once again, sorry about the glare from my glasses. I have another ginormous book haul. I am really like going all out now, I think, this year, because I was able to hold off really well last year, and now I'm kind of catching up to all the books that I didn't buy in 2017. 2018 is the year of just buying all the books for me, apparently. I'm actually going to start out with two books from thrift books. My love for A Darker Shade of Magic has been very well documented on this channel within the last couple of videos, and I really wanted to get my hands on the white hardback US editions of the books. My first two orders are basically because of that. I actually managed to find the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic. I found it, I think it was like for less than $10 on there, which you guys know is an amazing price for these, because these do tend to run a little bit, you know, they're a little more expensive than the average kind of YA fantasy hardback. It's in perfect condition. Like, it almost looks like it hasn't been read. And because Thrift Books does free shipping on orders of $10 or more, I decided to get the hardback of Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I currently have the paperback over there, but I have the second and third book in hardback, so I just wanted to have my matching set, and I decided to pick this up. I love these two series. These were in my favorites of the year so far. I highly recommend Thrift Books, by the way. That's another video. I have so many video ideas that I just like never actually do, but I do want to make a video eventually about how I save money buying books, because buying books can get pretty expensive. And I have like tips and tricks, and I have like different websites that I use and stuff like that. So if you guys ever want me to make a video like that, let me know and I'll try. I promise I'll try to get it up. Speaking of A Darker Shade of Magic though, the next book order that I placed was on the Book Outlet, because they had A Conjuring of Light, which is the third book in the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. This book is huge, it's beautiful, it's just, oh, I love this series so much. I was very excited to see it there discounted. I think it was like $7. It's beautiful. It's wonderful, and I'm so happy. I just need the second book now. You guys know I'm a sucker for free shipping. The Book Outlet now, they've implemented like a straight up like $5 shipping for any order that you place if it's below $35. You guys know me. I'm cheap. I feel like the whole free shipping thing is meant to trick people into thinking they're saving money when they're really spending more money. And I'm the idiot that always falls for that. But I felt like I needed to get the free shipping, so I bought a few more books in order to offset that, because, you know, that free shipping though. The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. To be completely honest with you guys, I don't entirely know what this book is about. I just know that it tackles rape culture really well. I know that it's about a girl who I believe starts investigating like the circumstances of her sister's death, and I'm guessing that like a rape situation was possibly involved in that. Next up, I picked up My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This is a very weird book. I've heard that there is 3 perspectives on this book, and one of them is from a horse, which is just weird. Actually, that's the main reason why I decided to pick it up, because I've heard really good things about this. I heard it was really funny, and like I said, it has the perspective of like a horse, which is just like, what? Okay, I need to read this, so picked it up. Excited about that one. The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Audier. This is the second book in the Wrath and Dawn duology, which I need to finish up. You guys know this is my year of finishing series that I've started, so this was really cheap on there. I decided to get it just to finish off that duology, and also the cover is just beautiful. Like, have you guys seen the end pages for these books? Like, they're just super pretty. Okay, next up I have The Last Magician by Lissa Maxwell. I forgot completely what this is about. Is this the time travel one? I feel like it's time travel. Yep, it's time travel fantasy. world set in New York. There's magicians in the world, but they're stuck in New York City. If they step out of New York City, they lose their powers, and this follows one particular magician who is able to time travel. So I guess she goes back to the past to steal artifacts from the past for the future or something like that. Not entirely sure. I think I just needed like one more book to complete like the $35, and I saw that this one, well, obviously, first of all, like the cover is just really nice and it looks very high fantasy, which I was in the mood for at the time. And then I saw the reviews on Goodreads, and they were really good reviews, so I picked it up. This all happened just because of this book, by the way. Like, I just want to remind you guys, like, when I fall in for a book, I really fall in for a book. Last book from that order is Certain Dark Things by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I picked this up solely because of Twitter. Apparently, a little while ago, someone started posting about vampires making a comeback in YA, which I am all for. I feel like there was a very big aversion to vampires after Twilight happened. It's the whole thing. You guys know what I'm talking about, but apparently vampires started making a comeback, and I've seen this book around, and people have pitched it before as like Mexican vampires. So with this whole vampire situation happening, I saw it again, and like I said, Mexican vampires. It's set in Mexico City, and it's bad as vampires. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. I picked it up. So that order happened, and then a few days later, the book outlet had a really big sale. First book that I picked up, Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. This is the, I guess it's kind of a spin-off. I don't even know. I don't understand what the fuck is going on with the series anymore, to be honest. I just know that this follows Kale, who is my child, my baby. I know that there was like a lot of like trepidation, and a lot of people were very, very wary with this when this was about to come out, but I've heard good things about it. So, you know, out of my love for Kale, I decided to pick it up. Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. Another like very feminist contemporary, I would say. Basically, I think this follows a girl who sets up like some sort of girl gang. Basically, she follows her mother's footsteps as like this punk rocker, like anti-establishment chick, and she sets up a group to take on the sexist standards at her school or something like that. It was blurred by Amy Poehler. Like, what else do I need? I picked up The Start of Me and You by Emery Lord. I am in the mood for more light, fluffy contemporary, especially now that summer's coming up. I do think this one's a little bit more heavy than what I was looking for, but I've heard really good things about Emery Lord. This one follows a girl who, I think her boyfriend died. She's still grieving and recovering from the loss of her first boyfriend, who died in a swimming accident. And then there's a new guy in town, and I guess he kind of pulls her out, and she starts healing in the process and stuff like that. So it is a little bit heavier than what I was looking for as like a light, fluffy contemporary for the summer, but like I said, I've heard amazing things about Emery Lord's writing. This is one I finally decided to pick it up. I was actually holding off because I really love the UK cover for this. Is the UK cover not more pretty than this one? I think so. But anyway, I've heard amazing things about this. It has my favorite, or one of my current favorite tropes, which is the secret pen pal. This is about a girl named Riley who has a secret pen pal basically, and she is forced to move to California with her dad, and she starts working at this movie theater, I think, and she meets this guy who she doesn't really like, and then things go from there. You can kind of guess. If you read a lot of like secret pen pal stories, you can probably guess what happens, but I've heard that this discusses a lot of like classic films and stuff like that. If that's something you're into, that's something that I'm not particularly into, because I grew up on like Mexican films, so I watch stuff like Cantinflas, and you know, if you watch Coco, like those kind of movies from the guy, you know, like the mariachi, that's what I grew up with. Not really, I don't think, like the stuff that's gonna be discussed here, but like I said, I'm a sucker for this trope, and I have heard really good things about this, so I picked it up. Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. This is the second book in the Passenger duology. Oh, okay. I thought it might have like art, because you know how like the Target edition sometimes have art? It's a separate little story on here. That's exciting. Love Alexandra Bracken. The Darkest Minds trilogy is one of my favorite things, although I will say I still haven't finished off the trilogy. I have one more book left in that trilogy. I will get to it this year though, before the movie comes out, because I'm very, very excited about the movie. I haven't read Passenger yet, mostly because my library doesn't have the audiobook. Like, why don't they not have audiobooks? Like, I've become so dependent on audiobooks lately. I think it has like a pirate ship, some sort of like deep space pirate ship with time travel. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I read the synopsis for Passenger. Okay, next up I picked Wanderlust by Jen Malone. This is another one that I've had my eye on for years, like on Amazon, and I saw it on there and I decided to just pick it up. This is about a girl who is forced to go, like take up a job in Europe. I think her sister was supposed to have the job, but something happens and she is forced to take the job instead of her sister, leading like a tourist bus. And of course there's romance, there's love. Like I said, I've been looking for like more fluffy romance YA stuff for the summer. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. But this one I've heard okay things about. I don't think this is like the best thing I've ever written, but I like the cover. I'm a sucker for the pink, and I like travel stories, particularly for the summer. I felt like this was going to be really great to read at the time. So I picked it up. A lot of also recommendations for NA. I've been reading a few like more new adult books lately. I'm still very new to the genre though, so if you guys have any recommendations, like, leave them down below. And last but not least in that order, I picked up I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. This book I've had on my radar since it came out because I heard that it had a lot to do with like Korean dramas. It's kind of very much inspired by like a romance K-drama, which are like my babies. I will say I am gonna hold off on this one for a little bit though, because I heard that it has a lot of like Korean references on here, but one of the references that I heard is talked about in here is Descendants of the Sun, which is like one of the few like super big Korean dramas that I have not watched yet. I know, but I'm holding off to read this until I marathon that first, and then I'm gonna jump into this. So that closed off my 2 book outlet purchases. Now, after that, I did have a few pre-orders set up, so I'm gonna hop into those. First, I have Leah on the Offbeat, which is the sequel to, or a companion novel rather, to Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This one follows Leah, who is Simon's best friend, and I already read this. Actually listened to the audiobook because Amazon took forever to get my copy out. I actually pre-ordered another book along with this, which was Sky in the Deep. It finally got to me, but I got a damaged copy, so I returned it to Amazon and they're shipping me a new copy of that. But I did pick it up, so I want to mention that here. That's a Viking fantasy standalone. Standalones, like fantasy standalones in particular, are very rare in YA, so I was very excited to read this. I have heard really, really good things about it, and Vikings are something that I don't read about and don't really know much of, to be honest, so I'm excited to read that once I get my copy in the mail. Pre-ordered Royals by Rachel Hawkins from the book Depository. I'm not very invested in the royal wedding. However, I'm a fan of Rachel Hawkins. Like, I enjoy her characters. I think like her books tend to be really fast-paced and fun, and this one in particular follows the sister of like the, what's her name, Meghan Markle? Is that who she is? See, I'm very out of the loop here. Her sister is basically dating the prince of, I think it's Scotland, which obviously Scotland doesn't have a king or queen, but I guess like that's kind of like her version of it or whatever. Her sister's dating the prince and she ends up getting tangled in all the mess. So she goes to live in Scotland to escape all the publicity and stuff, and she ends up having a thing with, I think, the brother of the prince, who I guess would be another prince. Not entirely sure. I'm excited for it. I took my little brother to see Infinity War, and at that little theater that we go to there is a thrift store, and of course I always check out the book section, and I found 2 books on there. The first of which is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I've heard really good things about this for years and it's been on my TBR, I think probably since I started BookTube. However, recently, because I finished Hunted, and you guys know it's one of my favorite ones, and it's by Megan Spooner, I decided to just jump in and get this. Also, it was like $4, but it was another like 50% off day, so I got this for like $2. It's not in the best condition. You can see a little bit of wear and tear and stuff. But like I said, I'm just excited to read more Megan Spooner stuff, and I've heard really good things about this. Apparently it's Titanic in space, So I also found Nevernight by J. Kristoff for only $2. So I got this for $1. Guys, it was $1.98, so I got it for like $1. I've heard really good things about this. Not entirely sure what it's about. I just know that it's been very hyped. I see it on my Twitter timeline all the time, and we'll see how it goes. I got it for $1. Almost done, guys. We're at the home stretch. We're really close. Okay. Next, I picked up The Hate U Give. I was at Target, and the book is currently like $10 or 10 something. I think it's like 11 bucks. So I decided to pick it up. It's taken me long enough to pick up this book, to be honest. The reason though is mostly because I feel like, okay, like first of all, this is a very important book. It deals with like police brutality. Story follows a girl whose best friend is killed by a cop. So obviously, very poignant, very much reflective of the current situation in the US, and I think that it's a very important book. I've heard amazing things about it. The only reason why I haven't really picked it up yet is because I do think that it deals with a very serious topic, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. Like, I've heard amazing things about it, but I have to be in a very specific mood to be able to read these kinds of books generally, so I've been kind of holding off on it. But I decided, I mean, I was at Target, it was pretty cheap. Even if I don't read it yet, I'm still supporting the author, and I will have it with me when the time comes when I feel like reading something like this. And also, obviously, the movie is coming out soon, so I am going to want to read it before the movie comes out. Last but not least, I have 3 books, well, 2 books that were sent to me by publishers, and 1 book that, guys, I actually won a Goodreads giveaway. Like, can we just take a moment? I've been entering Goodreads giveaways for years, and never have I once won a damn giveaway. I was starting to think that it was a myth, that like nobody ever actually won these things, and then I won one, and I am so excited because it's like a really good anthology that I'm very excited about. It is Toil and Trouble, 16 Tales of Women and Witchcraft. I already kind of tabbed and separated all the stories. This is a book that comes out on August 28, 2018, so right before Halloween, on Christmas, or Christmas? Sorry if the angle changed a little bit, my camera gave up on me. I forgot where we were, but I think I finished talking about this. Hopefully I did. Yeah. We're moving on. Tor very kindly sent me Love Songs and Other Lies by Jessica Pennington, which is about like a reality show revolving music, which I am very intrigued by. She sent me like this little guitar pick with it. Yeah, it's about a girl who has like her dream internship. She gets the opportunity to work, I think, on like a reality TV show following this super famous band, but she actually has a little bit of a past with one of the members, I believe. Also, apparently the guy kind of made a mistake and he's trying to make amends, so it's kind of about second chances but still romance. And then it takes place in the reality TV show with tabloids. It sounds interesting. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm very much in the mood for like kind of like romancy contemporaries for the summer, so this is perfect for that. So thank you, Tortine, for sending this to me. Last but not least, I got sent the paperback of Karela, which you guys know is one of my favorites of the year so far. Love it. It is a modern retelling of Cinderella that takes place at a con or surrounding a con. It also has, like I mentioned, one of my favorite tropes, which is the secret pen pal thing. Very much recommend it. It's really good. If you're a fan of like a Cinderella story in particular, I highly recommend this, particularly because it's a little bit more nerdy. Thank you to Quirk Books for sending this to me. I'm very excited, very happy, and seriously guys, please read this. It's one of my favorites. It's so cute. Highly, highly recommend. Those are all the books that I've bought lately. I do have a few more pre-orders coming in. Other than that, this will hopefully be the last big haul you see from me. Unless the book outlet decides to get the hardback of A Gathering of Shadows, then, you know, I can't resist. I need that book. Other than that, like I said, hopefully this will be the last big haul you see from me. in a while. I think I just got really excited because I was reading so many books, and then I got my tax return and I just wanted all the books and I just kind of lost control. But anyway, that is gonna be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon with another one. Bye guys!